Hey guys, good morning. It's Dr. Lisa coming to you from Tampa, Florida. Hoping that everybody is having a good morning so far, and thanking you for joining me on these daily live updates. I'm really enjoying connecting with everybody and sharing some of my thoughts, some science, some practical tips, and an affirmation. So for today, what I wanted to talk about are some of the confusing things surrounding this pandemic. I found it very interesting that the newest data is showing some results in the lab. So this is not inpatient therapy, but in the lab, they are killing coronavirus with another antiparasitic called Ivermectin. And that's similar to the fact that hydrochloroquine, which everyone went crazy over as a potential therapy that seems to be helping with very high positive results with killing off COVID-19 or preventing COVID-19 from progressing. Those two drugs that have both shown a lot of promise, interestingly enough to me, are not antiviral, they are antiparasitic. So that ivermectin, has been used to treat viruses before, but it is predominantly a very highly utilized medication used for worms, parasites. In a lot of underdeveloped countries, you can actually buy it over the counter, which is interesting. So I thought what it brought to the table for me, since I'm always the person who says why, was, what do we really know about this infection so far? And it seems like it's changing by the day. So things such as a doctor out of New York coming out talking about how the ventilator settings were questionable to him. And many of you may have seen his video kind of pleading to critical care practitioners to take a closer look at what the virus is doing, because it seemed like the patient's respiratory muscles were not getting fatigued, which is what's typical with ARDS from different types of diseases. And that instead, it seemed like this virus was causing a hypoxia, meaning low oxygen state in the body. So again, an unknown parasite virus. Is this hypoxia? Is it a traditional ARDS? Can it be driven by 5G, which is a lot of some supposition, and that some of the pockets of where this has been and higher numbers causing a higher death rate are places with a full run of 5G rollout. So my answer to all of those questions is we don't know, and it's extreme uncertainty, and you have a choice to kind of sit in that uncertainty and fear, or to control what you can control. So that's what I wanted to talk about predominantly as my hack for today, which is the journey to being authentic and to finding yourself as you're having some of this downtime. When you start kind of tapping into your own personal needs, and for many of us, it's a foreign concept to even admit that we may have needs, because we're so used to helping everybody else. I want you to stop and think for a second. So again, we are talking about this because of the fact that we can only control what our own internal environment is. And the more we control our own internal environment, no matter what is causing this pandemic, we are going to be a stronger, less likely host for this infection. So when you're about to engage in something, whether it's a phone call, whether it is a meal, I want you to think about if what you're about to do, or if it's type of exercise, if it is going to be nourishing you or draining you. We've talked about this a little bit before, but it's such an important question that I wanted to bring it up again. So think about today. In your day-to-day, you have a minute to process instead of the constant go, go, go. So stop and think, is this activity, is this call, is this engagement, is this going to nourish? At the end of it, am I going to feel awesome, vibrant, nourished, or am I going to feel drained? And when you go through the steps towards analyzing that. A lot of times you're going to have to say no maybe where you haven't before, and that's a new tool in your toolbox. Saying no and saying yes. So when I first started doing this, I would go through lots of thoughts like, okay, I really want to go to this conference, but this person needs me, my kids need me, I can't be out of my practice, it's too much money. That whole circle of, you can't do this thought pattern would jump right in, and I would tend to just miss the opportunity. Starting about 5 years ago, as I woke up to authenticity and my own tapping into my own needs, instead of going through that whole story, I would just jump on it and buy it. And then come out and say to everybody, guess what, guys? I am going to a conference in San Francisco. And you know what? That conference was truly life-changing. I learned incredible tools to bring back to my practice, and I would have missed it if I had let the story lead my actions. So start by just saying yes, like I did, to things. It doesn't need to be, an expensive trip to California. It could be I'm taking 10 minutes to go take a bath, or I'm taking 10 minutes to go and out in the back and do my workout. And then say no. So maybe you've always agreed to something just because it seemed easier than arguing. Well, it doesn't have to be an argument. It can just be a, hey, you know what? Right now, I'm going to have to say no. And just say it with love, and you're going to find that your internal environment is going to get more and more healthy and more calm the more you do this. It does take practice. And what often happens is that the more you step in and speak your truth, those around you tend to react. So I would say that step one is saying yes and saying no. Well, actually, step one is saying, is this nourishing me or draining me? Then step two is saying yes or saying no. And then step three is going to be learning how to sort of stand in the I. So staying there calm while the reactivities of others can just go around and around, and just holding love and holding light and space as they kind of process their own emotions. The last step is the hardest, and that is staying calm within your own thoughts. So most of us are very self-critical and we don't realize it. It's just a running tape playing in our head. Typically unworthiness, fear-based, and those types of thoughts. And they truly suppress our immune system, our mitochondrial function, which is what makes us vibrant. So, working on staying calm, speaking your truth, allowing others to have their reaction, and allowing your own thoughts to just sit calmly and telling yourself that you're worthy. So in this time of uncertainty where we don't know if this virus is a parasite or a virus or man-made or a bioweapon or whatever it may be, let's have one thing that is certain, which is that we can go inside, we can trust ourselves, we can do things that make our immune system and our bodies healthy, and that will keep us on top of our game, not only during this pandemic, but forever. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope these tips were helpful. The affirmation that I have for today is that I only take in what nourishes me. I release the rest. I only take in what nourishes me, and I release the rest. Take care. Have a great day. I will look forward to connecting with you guys tomorrow. As always, please share comments, ideas, things you would like me to research or hear about, and we'll get back to you then. Bye. And actually, by the way, one last quick thing. I am live today on a nationally based financial network called Cheddar. So if you want to check me out at 3 o'clock, I'm going to be interviewed on tips for how to boost your immune system. Take care, guys. Bye.